Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Friday, everybody. Hang on a minute. Let me close my studio door. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes. Oh, it's been such a long day. It's been such a long day, my lovelies. It's been such a long day. Let me put the camera on myself. Let me put the camera on myself. Hi. Hello. How is everybody? Let me see who in the classroom. Because we need to catch up, We need to catch up. Because people, I am so excited. First of all, guess who I found on YouTube? Guess who I found on YouTube? I found Tiger on YouTube. So for those of you who don't know, Tiger is a TikToker who is always talking about the Jaden case. And I had no idea that Tiger was on YouTube. So that was pretty cool. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Suzette. I provided to you too. How are you doing? I'm fine. Hi, Foxy Ann. Hi, Apple Pie. Hi, Maureen. Yes, please remember to like up the live. We have a few things to discuss tonight. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Angie. What's up? Yeah, so like I said, I was so excited because I found Tiger on YouTube, and he's live. I just wanted to kind of listen in and hear the things that he was saying about the Jaden Smith case. So I'm about to click play and do a sneaky listen and see what he's about as a YouTuber, because you guys know I don't do TikTok. No, I don't like TikTok. TikTok too toxic and too much negativity. You understand? I can't take a bangarang over there. So I tend to stick to YouTube. I occasionally upload videos on TikTok, but I'm not there. Oh, that's so good. Yes, always vouching for justice. Exactly, Maureen. So I was very pleased. So I'm just gonna listen in and hear what he's saying. His page is something, it looks like TikTok updates or something like that. TikTok updates. Hi, Carrie. So make we listen to study the case. I put the good thing, guys. I have seen Tiger before on live on TikTok, as in I'm scrolling on my For You page and he pops up, but his live has like been full swing, and I don't know what he's talking about, because a lot of the times he tends to interject with some jokes and stuff like that. I mean, I really understand Wagwan. So I tend to just scroll on because I'm like, well, you know me, I like to just listen to the meat of the matter. And because TikTok don't have any rewind option, I've missed out on the major discussion. But the beauty of YouTube is you can rewind everything. So I have obviously missed this live, so now I'm going to rewind and listen to what he was saying. So when I get my plan to get married tomorrow, I get my plan to fight tomorrow, me now go really think on that. All of the information that come out, especially this last thing here, in my opinion, very damning. Okay. See? And the fact that the girl that said out her mouth, I don't like it. Somebody come back and say she said this and she said that, and she has said out her mouth. Yeah, whatever she says out her mouth, we can. So he's talking about the Shanique interview. Yes, good with it. My talk about the Shanique interview with Yard Boss people. Still, I don't know if you well. Here, because me put myself in our mindset when they say what me say, what I do what me do. There's somebody right now. Hey, Elvis, Elvis. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. And some of the things when I say, don't make them corrupt the thing, them come out plain as day today. Okay, what else you think before me finish plain talk? As day. Plain as day. Yeah. I did listen to Yard Boss's last video. It wasn't bad. Mega game that. Right? It wasn't bad, that one. He was saying the right things. And, listen, I'm going to always hit you with hardcore truths. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. If I see something, I call it for what I see, right? And Yard Boss knows exactly what he did and why we never liked it. But my stance on this Jaden matter, the police never left the case. The police never left the case, Maureen. They never left the case. They're still, the case is still active. Like I said, I called them and they said it's still active. So it's just that it's gone quiet. They're not doing as much as they ought to do, but the case never ended. Okay. As for the WhatsApp group, no, what I understood was that they were basically interviewing or asking questions of Shanique via WhatsApp. And that Shanique actually did not send the itinerary, but she typed out her arrival times and sent that to the police. Now, you tell me if that's enough foolishness. What I'm finding interesting, and you see, graduates, I did tell you that this was going to happen. I told you that they are going to start realizing that the only next steps forward is to actually target the poor handling of the investigation of the Jaden Smith case. And if you don't do that, you will get no justice, because you need to know why it is that the case is stalled, right? All of a sudden, Yard Boss starts sing the same Sankey. Me telling you say that going to happen. And they're never going to admit that they heard it here first. But no worry yourself, it doesn't matter. What matters to me is that we move on with some positivity. I'm happy to see that Tiger is on YouTube. So like I said, I'm just going to listen into a bit to see what he's about as a YouTuber. I know that he's mostly on TikTok. So he did a live. So I'm just listening in.
Yeah. Them realize, say, yo, the woman come down in the morning. They realize that Tommy pick her up.
Yes.
All of the things that when we have fight for pushing out the public domain, this interview here comes solid to fight. For me.
I just don't want the smartness of them over smart the entire public.
Exactly, Empress. I don't know.
Very good with that. That she will listen to all the lives and stuff, pick out what she wants to pick out.
Yeah.
And now, whatever we think, that's what she's going to come and start to confess and say yes. I don't want her to try
to be honest with you,
use back the same words then.
If she confess with what I have been saying, she confess herself right in Alcatraz.
No, man, stop when I go for that. She go on use.
I don't really know what he has been saying, guys, because I haven't really been listening. I only pick up on little clips, but I haven't been listening to full live, so
stuff like that.
I don't know.
So this is what I am saying. You have to always have far and against, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Bella, which is my sister, did I run with the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And me never did I buy that.
No.
So the fact, if the only thing
it can be Saturday, it's not Saturday.
Can get right now under the public.
It's either the day before or early the Friday morning.
Unless if they might run with something with one of the against, I say, they will win. But if any of them are running something where we not say, then can't get away with the public. Because you see why I come back out from my holiday? Why I come back from my holiday now?
Oh, he was on holiday?
When then drop
he was on holiday, guys?
The itinerary. I said, no, they can't make them go back to the public with this bullshit. Yeah? That's what made up back come back off of the holiday. Coming not even done one.
So the itinerary dry mode.
And I say, if me go sit down for holiday and make them run with this type public and make this go inoculate the public, it not gonna work.
That's right.
I mean, come out and make people and say, what kind of accurate, what kind of AI itinerary now come with? You see, AI sitting like.
It wasn't AI. So I gotta say AI itinerary. It wasn't AI because I put in the same booking reference and I got the same information. So definitely you understand. It was a real itinerary. What does an itinerary do? An itinerary will present only with your outgoing flight, but your incoming flight. If you book a return, if you book singles, then which is highly likely, considering that her child not necessarily know when she was able to return. But if you remember, she said that she booked a ticket for the child as well, Zaire. So there should have been a return ticket. There should have been a return ticket with both Shanique and the baby to come back, whichever following day or whatever. Why didn't she send everything to Yard Boss, right? Why didn't she send the return leg of the journey to Yard Boss, considering that she ended up having to rebook or extend her flight because the return date was no longer the same? So it was an incomplete travel itinerary that removed the return journey and the timings, and that was deliberate. We proved that yesterday. The reason why is because if we know the timings of her return, it may not necessarily line up with whatever it is that the principal claimed. You understand? I'm just wondering, as a concerned citizen and mother, can an individual write a letter to the DDP office asking for this office to take up the investigation for the Jayden case? Now, I am not aware of that. I have heard Yard Boss repeatedly say that anybody can do that. I'm not aware of that. I picked up the phone. I called the Mandeville police station. I spoke to a lady police officer who just basically gave me general information and advice. She's aware of the case. She's aware of who's on the case. She would not tell me or disclose to me which officers there were. But she assured me that there was no workings with any bloggers. Now, if you remember, when Yard Boss was speaking, he said, and I actually made notes. Give me a second. His exact words were, hold on, let me go into my WhatsApp because that's where I made my notes. That he spoke with a senior sergeant CIB, that he had a senior sergeant CIB that he was working alongside. So I mentioned that to the officer, and she was like, that's a lie. Yes. So, guys, I don't know who you would necessarily reach out to. I know that when it comes to finding out if police officers or reporting police officers who have not behaved appropriately, you can make a report. Is it to Interpol or whatever? What is it called? What is it called when you report police misconduct, Jamaica? What's it called? Indicom, right? So you can report to Indicom, which is the Independent Commission of Investigations, if you believe that there has been some kind of general complaints, a corruption of processes, unprofessional behavior on behalf of the police. Now, when it comes to Indicom and how to report a complaint, it's a very straightforward matter. There is a link. Let me just click into it, where you can put the date of the incident, the road or street or avenue where it took place, the parish it took place, and then you'd put in your details. Then you'd put in the alleged victim's details. Then you describe the incident. So that's definitely something that we can do, right? If we suspect that there has been misconduct. But the thing is, you have to have a really good reason to complain. Yeah, I have a really good reason for complaining. Hey, Live and Let Live, big up yourself. Hey, Andreen. Hey, Herlexia, big up. Right? You have to have a really good reason for complaining.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give a listen.
Listen, me believe with every bone in my body, say, Tommy pick her up from the airport. And me believe that Mr. T was playing a game of say what I see.
I don't think it's Tammy. Tammy pick her up from the airport. It's definitely Romaine. Now remember, Yard Boss removed that information from the recording. It's on purpose. It's on purpose, right? And I thought about it up to last night, and this is the conclusion that I arrived at. The reason why Yard Boss removed the name of the brother from that recording on YouTube Okay, first of all, he was counting on the fact that TikTok lives, they go out there, but they come down, right? Now it is that Tiger is on YouTube and his lives are being streamed on YouTube as well. I don't think he would be as forthright to come on Tiger's live and release certain things. He released the full name of the person who collected Shanique at the airport on that live because he's thinking nobody else not gonna see it. You understand? Anyway, having done that, it's clear that Yard Boss, either he has some connections with Spain Town, because a Spanish town the boy there. Either he has some connections with Spain Town and he does not want to ruffle any feathers. Because remember, he was imploring for them to let Romain walk in a peace in a Spain Town. Right? So it's either that he has some connections in Spain Town and if don't want him name mixed up in a bangarang in a Spain Town, don't want to ruffle any feathers down there, or there's a fear that Romain may be at risk in Spain Town if he alerts the bad man them down there that him have something to do with Jayden disappearing. Right? So there was a very deliberate tactic in what Yard Boss did. I am now seeing Yard Boss for exactly who he is. He's very sly, he's very conniving, and he's very manipulative. As to whether or not he wants justice for Jayden, I'm not going to knock him on that. I don't believe that it's a case of him just being manipulative for the sake of no sake. I think that he does have a drive for justice for Jayden. And as far as I'm concerned, the more voices that are on this case, the better, because it keeps the name alive, right? So I'm not going to knock him in totality. Don't get me wrong, guys. He's done some good investigative journalism, as what he calls it, right? But the way it was delivered was my problem. It was far too deceptive, and it was borderline kind of Panama shit, double standards and all of them sitting there. But anyway.
The interview,
hey, Jay.
She know what was going on then. If she never know the day when it happened, she know when it was going on, because that is the reason why she tried to show us off by saying that she went to Mother's. She never gone to Mother's.
I agree. She didn't go to Mother's. I totally agree she didn't go to Mother's.
Right. And I also believe when the hyena said she spent an hour with her mother and her father and her sister and brother, a lie she had tell.
Oh.
Mr. T said, when she come in, then left. Him, Goatee, and Crocodile left. When Mr. T left that hospital, Mr. T left that hospital no later than 6:30. No later than 6:30, Mr. T left that hospital. Not even a minute, must before, not after. So they take 50 minutes to reach home. So when they reach home, them look, not even 3 minutes, they stay in the house and look for Jayden. Because they tell us they're going to Jayden and come back out the gas station. And when she go home, they saw, she probably reach home, say, I don't know, 6:35, 6:40, and then left out for the police station. That's how they end up. That's how that old Crocodile end up phoning Fallen Gabriel for 7 o'clock.
Who's Crocodile?
You hear?
Anybody goes on Tiger's live regularly, who is Crocodile? I'm very confused. Who name Crocodile, people? Who name Crocodile?
No Mothers. No.
That's why I tell you that I find it very difficult to follow him, because I don't know what he's talking about. Who is Crocodile? Oh, Anne-Marie. Oh, okay. I see.
Because that's what I'm telling you, if them things that come manipulate you, they make a sad mistake. Remember, the hyena say she buy a little food for everybody in the hospital. When she said,
okay, so hyena is Shanique.
No, sir. So you're going to tell me, say your daughter, first and foremost, what me tell you, I lie the old Crocodile I tell.
I see.
You, that the hospital, your daughter's son. Your daughter come and stop a case. You think your daughter not care when Mr. Chicken come give some mommy rub
Didn't I say the same thing? This is insane.
And then straight after.
Didn't I say the same thing, guys? I said the same thing. I said, how is she not going to be bringing chicken for everybody? Because she never made it look like that in her initial discussions.
You go tap on Mother's and buy next food. Then you go home to the curry chicken and white rice on the from Thursday night. I tell woman, You're wicked.
That is insane. We were definitely all saying the same thing. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You're wicked. And we are trying to throw off like pat water. That's why you have to come tell me about half an hour mothers. And you notice a 2 time, your daughter know every time exactly. She said, Mommy spend an hour with me. And you say you spend half an hour mothers. How you know say you spend half an hour mothers? You look at your watch?
Huh?
Or crocodile, you probably didn't have a watch by your hand. You have watch?
So they have a 1.5
Maybe she look on her phone.
Then the 1.5 hour when we can't give a call for, and that's what mashed up her brain.
Yeah.
Mother's queue is not going to be as long as the KFC queue either, you know.
Because, you see, what am I doing now?
Is KFC in Mandeville as busy as it is in Montego Bay? Because I know that the Montego Bay KFC is insane. The last time I went to Jamaica, it was like we were driving through and we just decided, you know what, forget this drive-through. We're going to just walk in instead because the line of traffic was all the way around. And we were like, no, sir. So we go inside, and even inside, it was a long queue. Is it popular in Mandeville, that KFC, that when Shanique went in to buy the chicken, it wouldn't be a quick process, you know? Because it would be an extended length of time otherwise.
If you discredit Mr. T, you know. So you see the fact, if she stop at mother's, Mr. T thing gone to the window. If she stop at mother's any at all, because we remember, you know, what we was arguing about, you know. That's a holy hell, and that's why everybody has said Mr. T all liar, and Mr. T had this, and Mr. T had that, because if she had stopped at the
I remember this.
Mr. T time would have gone straight through the window.
I remember Mr. T saying that he was cooking.
Mr. T time would have gone straight through the window.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to believe nothing when I say. No time when you stop at police station, nothing.
But may I tell you, say, Mr. T, indeed, Mr. T, 1,000,000,000% went to the police station the time when him saying got the police station.
Yes.
Yeah. That's tight.
And him go there with the crocodile, and him go there with Goatee, and him go there with the brother, and him go there with the daddy.
Yep.
1,000,000,000%. Me believe that.
Yeah. Not true.
Yeah. We believe that 1,000,000,000%.
It's quite a long life. I'm not gonna go on there.
Uncle T not tell a lie. I'm an uncle, you know.
You're there.
I'm telling you from day one. So Mr. T is playing a game. I've said as I see it.
Well, we've determined that Mr. T is definitely very honest. He is very honest. He just stop playing.
I'm telling you, say, go and watch the man body language.
Yep.
Yeah, my name body language is out here.
The man is
any direction.
on the ground. He said, we live in our era, right? Yes. So.
Mm-hmm. Very emphatic.
Let me not tell you, man, so he hadn't gone over there, so, you know, and me, you never give him the key, you know, him hand. This is my hand.
Right now, Lewis, Missy, can get about Jackie, to him a move.
Because he's reliving the moment. That's why he's doing that. He's reliving it.
Let me not tell you, man.
He's reliving the moment. That's why I'm doing that.
Going on.
Yeah, I relive the moment. That's why.
I got some look for me now and tell me, say, you see Mr. T Saturday morning.
I'm losing weight, really?
Oh, the girl. Hey, listen, I mean, you see, I'm a fact. You see, anybody come over your concession is sensible and smart, will not get black again.
Shanique, sensible and smart. You know, Shanique might have book bright enough people, but you know, it sounds slow. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but she really does sound slow. When you listen to Shanique talk, I mean, I know if I put on one voice or what, as though she can't mash hands, or if it's a part of our, you know, deception or deceptagon tactics. But she sounds slow and I can't listen to her for too long.
Let me tell you something. How you are gonna be so smart and then you are gonna come for national TV, come tell we say.
Uh-huh.
Mr. T, Geki, Saturday morning. When you say your mama come down, your mama come down, come release you. Why your mama couldn't put the key in her hand?
Exactly.
And that would be Mr. T bringing her anyways.
And Mr. T, if Mr. T bring your mama come to hospital, why Mr. T have to drop off your mama at the hospital and go back to Stone and wait for your cross road at the pharmacy?
That was an absolute lie. That was a lie.
What's the reason?
I mean, even if you think about it, just think about the logics of it. Her being in the hospital on the Friday, right? So she's in the hospital on the Friday. She relieved the mother. The mother went home, discovered that Jaden was missing, so she say, right? It would be the mother that would have returned. If anything, the following day, the Saturday, it would have been the mother that would have returned, because the whole thing with Jaden going missing would have caused a big commotion, right? Either the mother return or Shanique is now on her own. Because remember, you know, right at then and there, you have a situation where the aunt and the uncle and the mar and everybody is caught up in the moment of a missing child. So it's a matter of, listen, Shanique, you have to go find a way, right? Because I'm not able to do whatever. So the father would be the one to come and drop off the key at that point. I don't really think so. You understand? She's trying to pick words how to answer the question. She's lying. Exactly. So it's a Friday morning. She get the key for refresh herself, so that she could then go and freshen up after she arrived, either early Friday morning or very, very late, close to midnight on the Thursday night, right? So when she arrived, she get the key the following morning, the 9 o'clock, for go bed. You understand? That is what that was about. Because she frowns and she come off of the plane and she mix up with people, and then she go and be in the hospital with her baby. Right? She don't want the baby on the dirty clothes. COVID better than on the clothes. She want to go freshen up. She not gonna wait all the way until Saturday morning to wash her coochie. Excuse my language, but you know, it's gonna have to get washed before that. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? Yeah. So she needed to freshen up, and she went and she got that done. A laugh, yeah, but a true, right? It's not Saturday morning. A Friday morning, he was telling the truth, and he spoke specifically about the weather. He was able to account for all of the elements that were taking place around him.
What about this? Okay, so yeah, man. Yeah, she said,
I wonder Saturday morning when they going out, they're going to go with them.
She's smart for her own good. That's the only smart she's smart. Because me don't know. All right. Remember your dirty mama tell me say everybody in the house have a key, you know.
Did she?
So when your mama come at the hospital morning, she's supposed to have fear key, filling a fear key. Where was fear mama key Saturday morning? But she couldn't let them.
The mother said that? I don't recall hearing that. The mother said everybody has a key.
She already have it.
The reason why your mama have to borrow your father key for going out house when they reach home Friday night is because you all hyena have your mama key for Friday morning.
Oh, she did say that, Harold. Okay.
That is an opinion. Facts. Before you got photocostos, me lock it down. Yo.
I skipped because it's long.
I got GP.
Crosses.
No man, they really a story. They might turn the story too much, man. It's about time we get some law people out on them and we stop.
Absolutely.
We just sit back and relax and watch the ride. Sit back, relax, watch the ride, watch what will happen to them. She'll come out every day, come make up a different story.
Listen, as I say, I have my own big feelings from October last year. And all she had do, she's coming out and she's confirming what I have been saying. Okay. And if anybody think I am chatting crap, go over YouTube and listen to me live them back.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go through his lives and listen to what he's saying then.
Panic. Say you never have no problem. But me feel offended.
Hold on a minute. This is the same live? What happened here? Hang on.
I want to know. I feel like I'm great. Take on my wing. You know nobody pan the app. Wall on I go to road and a car call me. You know nobody pan the app. Can't you? You nobody pan the app. Dirty stinking this. You nobody pan the app, man. You can't diss me.
What is my book up in a people? Were we just listening to a whole thing about justice for Jaden? Not the same guy this. I see him live. What happened? What is this? Who is K&Q?
You over that big old humpy dumpy sassy looking one that call me name. Hey, me say on the eye. Hey, let me tell you something on the door and get me cross man this, you know. Yeah, the past 5 years, you know, we are running on my life.
What is?
5 years, we are running on my life. You think you can intimidate me? You think nobody can intimidate me on the app? Don't ramp with me. None of them can intimidate me on this. None of them can intimidate me. Just remember when you chat out and your frowns mouth say, and if I mind you, the people and put
no, wait. Is what that? No, sir. I was listening to Justice for Jaden. When did it turn into that? Who is he cursing out like that? Somebody did him. No, not laugh, Foxy. May I listen to this whole thing about Jaden? And he's calling some. It's who impossible. No, let live the laugh. No, you know, so go book up in there. You don't know when you go book up and see the way you didn't expect. Come in if I listen this live. It's not funny. We my cuss. No, sir.
16. Give one bag of list with the people where I go for in the chat them. On the members of that over there defend. Me never defend myself because the germs never put my name on it. That of remember. So when you over people life and that bring me down.
No, sir. This is not my business. Me no business about that. Listen. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know what that was. That's got nothing to do with me. I was uninterested in hearing him talk about Jaden Smith. Let me leave people business alone. This is nothing to do with me, people. No, sir. I don't know we my cuss or whatever. I am shocked because I've never actually seen him behave like that. Even the few times I've scrolled past, I've never seen him behave like that. I don't think that's very nice to do with Jaden's picture in the background, though. Because anybody who clicks on the live is going to think that he's talking about justice for Jaden, and then there's a whole big cuss out here. Woo, child, I tell you, so that's why I stay away from TikTok, because I cannot be asked. That is not my forte. That's not my cup of tea. But can't be bothered, but stay away from the negativity, people. My face expression is priceless. It frightened me. Because 1 minute I'm hearing about Jaden and I'm hearing about the discussions, and then may I hear some girl getting called a sausage or something. I don't know. Some girl I get called out her name. No, we're not about that life. So we'll leave that alone, right, guys? I don't think it's necessary for us to listen to that. So there was something that I did want to revisit before we go on to our next topic for today. And it was the whole discussion that took place between Mr. T and L.A. Lewis. That was a very significant meeting, and a lot came out from that in terms of Mr. T leaking crucial information. We're going to listen to his timeline, and we're going to make sure that we didn't miss anything crucial in that discussion. Because, like I said, ever so often, I heard him put it on Surprise one day. Really? I know who Surprise is, because I know who Surprise is from, we call it, from L.A. Lewis. Because they were together when they were doing the whole search for Jaden and everything. So I do know who Surprise is. And I've listened to Surprise on various lives. But mighty God, Surprise, when you listen to Surprise on the live, Surprise talks over everybody and everything. But I have seen him. So he cursed him out. I did not know this. Wow. This is the thing with TikTok. Like I said, the TikTok people, them always are warm. Can't bother. Right? I mean, we on YouTube, yeah, we argue, but we just move on. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get that heated. Can't bother with them, something there. Right. So we're gonna try and listen to, like I said, we're gonna listen to this Mr. T, because Mr. T has had a very unfair hand presented towards him, a very unfair hand indeed. In that Mr. T has been painted as a drunkard. Mr. T has been painted as irresponsible. And, you know, I was very distressed when I listened to a segment on Chat and Laugh with Dulcia. I almost mix up the two, Chat and Laugh them. Chat and Laugh with Dulcia, and I heard the whole conversation about Mr. T being a PDF, right? A PDF. And I didn't like where it was going. I cannot defend that information because I can't verify nor can I negate. But at the end of the day, it's like the man's character was being assassinated because they really and truly want to throw him under the bus. Now, I don't know if something actually goes so, but to me, it's apples and oranges. Now, as much as you might be saying, well, it's not apples and oranges, because if he was doing that with a little girl, then that means he can't be trusted around the little boy either. Okay, I hear the argument, but to me, it's still apples and oranges, right? And I think it's important that we don't muddy the waters with different pieces of information that are not necessarily connected, right? But yes, so it was going down a very dreadful path, and it was a little bit distressing, but we still have to give credit where it's due, in that he was the only one who never once bat an eyelid when it came to sharing information. And he never once backed down from what he claimed, what he believed was the truth. Okay, we're here now. All right, so we're going to start with this one.
All right, so
let's listen.
Stepdaughter now.
Hold on. I'll try and make this bigger.
But the thing what the older one know now. All right, so the stepdaughter now, because nobody know. You already hear all everything on the like name come up. You already hear all them everything go. So where was she in all this time?
My stepdaughter Friday come Friday morning reach hospital.
Yeah.
Really see mother. You understand? She no come here.
Did you hear? Friday morning, Shanique came to hospital to release her mother. You can say im mother, but you know a country talk and im mean she. You know the pronoun. Friday morning, him release him mother. We hear that loud and clear. Friday morning, my daughter come to hospital and release him mother. Listen. Listen.
So you can't defend her, not
No, but no, we can't defend her. Because Jaden was in school when she the hospital.
Yes.
When we left hospital, she left with the day. And me and my wife and them at home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, I tell you.
So while Jaden
Let's pull that up again and let's listen to it again.
She don't come around, sir.
So you can't defend her, not
No, but no, we can't defend her. Because Jaden was in school. When she...
Let's start again. Listen. You know what I find interesting about how he talks, and it's interesting because they also said it. He literally acts out the things them that he was listening to and doing.
You already hear all the things And like name nothing. So you already hear
No, man, everything
all those everything go. So where was she in all this time?
My stepdaughter Friday come down Friday morning in the hospital.
Yeah.
Really see mother. You understand? She don't come here. She don't come around so.
So you can't defend her, nothing.
No, but no, we can't defend her. Because Jaden was in school when she the hospital.
Yes.
When we left hospital, she left with the baby. And me and my wife and them are going home.
Yeah.
You know, so I tell you.
So while Jaden gone up on the road.
Another repetition. We're going to listen to when he talks about collecting the keys. Because we really want to find out, is Mr. T mixing up days? Is there a mix-up of days? Did Shanique really get the key on the Saturday? Was it on the Friday? We're going to listen, you know. It's going to become clearer.
Yeah, where was she at that time?
When no, we would know where Jaden go because that was the hospital.
No, man. While Jaden was at school,
Shanique and her friend named Tommy were living in our area, so was poetry at the same time. Professional because you know carry no close to family. So he just go as poetry up the tell about me wife boss.
Yeah, but what about what time?
You know, I really remember time like that, but I early morning. The early morning part.
No, what we're talking about the time now when Jaden supposed to be at school. Yes, until him got the local fast food place. Yes, and at that time, you know were on the road.
Yes.
Hustling. Yes, and so that's now. But where were Shanique at the time?
Shanique and Tommy, that's
At that
poetry.
time?
Yes, that's poetry.
Yeah, but the thing now, you don't know so that's spiritual like that. No ask.
Me,
Because of that same thing.
yeah, me understand what you say. But me carry the bunch of key go get Shanique in her hand right down
No, me know in the morning.
yeah, down well I know, we don't 3 angels pharmacy.
Not at what time?
As me tell you say
Early in the morning.
about 9 o'clock.
No, 9 o'clock no.
Shanique arrived on Thursday night. Thursday night or the wee hours of Friday morning. He didn't say it once. He didn't say it once. He didn't say it twice. He said it 3 times. So you try to tell me, say Mr. T is so drunk that him a go mix up the day, then repeatedly pick up yourself, Jefford. Repeatedly. Are you guys listening? Shanique turn up in the early morning and get interrupted in the conversation again. Then him go, Shanique, did they so while we there, while Jaden there at school. We left her at the hospital, you know. Jaden there at school. Right? Then him say Shanique got spur tree. Shanique and Tammy got spur tree. So where was Shanique and Shanique when Jaden there at school at Little Caesars? So no, because by giving him Little Caesars, you know, what Eddie Lewis was doing was pinpointing the time frame. That's after school, which is after 2:30. After school, which is after 2:30. So if you listen, at that time, she was at Spur Tree. So while she's at Spur Tree with Tammy, he is giving his alibi for his daughter, his stepdaughter. If you say, listen, she never did this so. She did at Spur Tree with Tammy. While him there all the way at Little Caesars, eating pizza. Me there on the road a hustle. Straight away, him eliminate himself from verification. Him can't validate it. You there on the road a hustle, Mr. T. So you don't know for sure if she is still in Spur Tree or if she leaves Spur Tree and go back. But he's trying to vouch for her because that's the reality about Mr. T. Him take her word as gospel because he can't imagine that she do. You understand? And then him come again And him say, when Eddie Lewis say, how you know for sure? So when Jaden go missing, or when Jaden there at Little Caesars, how you know for sure say as per tree today with Tammy? He then revisits the Friday morning. And him say, oh, you mean me go put the key in her hand? And he start going, he said, me put the key in her hand. Me put the key in her hand. And at this so put the key in her hand. And in the Friday. And then we say, when? Friday. Him say, early. Me don't remember the time 100%, but me know early. In about the 9 o'clock region there. We pull it up. Let's pull it up.
Jayden, down up on the road.
Yo.
Where was she at that time?
When, no, we would know where Jayden go because they tell we the hospital.
No, man. While Jayden at school, yes,
Shanik and his friend and Tommy when living away here, so was poetry at the same time, but freshen up because you know can't suffering. So he just go as poetry up the tell about me white boss.
Yeah, but what about what time?
You know, I really remember time that not early morning. The early morning part.
No, what we talking about the time now when Jayden supposed to that school. Yes, got it.
Same drive from the morning to the afternoon, guys. Listen.
At that time, you know, were on the road.
Yes.
Hustling. Yes, and so that's now. But where were Shanik at the time?
Shanik and Tommy, that's
At that
poetry.
time?
Yes, that's poetry.
Yeah, but the thing now, oh, you would have known that's spiritual and that people ask.
Me,
Because of that,
yeah, me understand what you say. But me carry the bunch of key go give Shanik in her hand right down
no, me know, in the morning.
yeah, down hold on, we don't 3 inches pharmacy.
That's what time?
As me tell you, say,
Early,
yeah, about 9 o'clock or
So
so.
down, 9 o'clock down after service.
How many times is Mr. T going to be drunk and mix up dates and so, but yet he can keep the dates consistent in a conversation? How can a drunken man keep consistent days in a conversation? Shanique arrived early Friday morning or very, very late Thursday night. She arrived. Because even if she arrived close to midnight on the Thursday night, guys, even if she arrived then, which is a bit of a stretch, because think about it, she get the news in about the 6 o'clock region. And if we're talking about America time, fast forward, that's add an hour on top of that, right? So, if she get the news them time there, for her to book a ticket and all of that, go to the airport, check in, I think that's a bit of a stretch for her to travel the same Thursday night. But she could have traveled in the wee hours of Friday morning if she got a ticket for that period. And then she head into Montego Bay Airport. People are saying that it's Norman Monday. It could be because I don't know about any early morning flight coming in at Montego Bay. We did our research on the Montego Bay Airport. All of the flights were coming in relatively lunchtime-ish, between the 10 o'clock region and the 12 o'clock region and so on, right? So highly likely that she did that. But if she did arrive there, it would then make sense. Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sorry. Yes. So if she arrived in Kingston, the likelihood of her brother collecting her makes sense because Romaine is based in Spain Town. You understand? So if Romaine is based in Spain Town, it's easy for him to come and buck shuffle and come collect her in Kingston and then drive her down to Mandeville. How long is the journey? we're talking about 3 hours and a bit, right? Or 2 and a bit hours, right? It's a pity. It's a good time since, but this pharmacy should have the footage. Camera is there. The police dropped the ball. They did not check those things. The police dropped the ball. No verification of the stories that these people told. You understand? Which is why we bloggers have to be doing what we're doing and putting things in order. So at the end of the day, here comes Romain, the brother, transporting her all the way in. During this time, they're having a whole conversation. You can imagine, oh, she upset and she mad. Oh, she accosted to the brother and I say, this what sitting at picnic broke my picnic foot. And me ear say, him that jump up and you know him always a jump off of furniture. And before the boy catch him, the boy go so. And my picnic drop and broke his foot. And now me have to spend up one whole heap of money to come down here so. And ray. And I have my little girl. Who kept our daughter, by the way? Because I told picnic she have, you know. Who kept our little girl? Because remember, say her husband, you know, was supposed to be doing his training. Right? Him doing training. Who kept our daughter? It's a question to ask, you know. But anyway, so she come now. She turn up. She contacting, she end up on the phone with her mother. Her mother tell her even more details about what going on with Zaire or the hospital now angle him right and everything that take long and them have to change from the health center to the hospital and them now get the treatment what them supposed to get. You understand? And then if that is the case, she may have gotten a babysitter. And then if that is the case, now the anger just a grow. She want to book up on Jaden because she want to know what happened to her pitney. She want to know what happened to her pitney. Right? But anyway, wait. So let us now listen to the rest of this and hear what we say.
But my wife and them are still in the hospital with she.
With Shani?
Yes.
All right. So, and then after your wife left the hospital with Shani,
No, man, when Shani got the hospital, we weren't here. When Shani walked in, I was going to buy a soap.
Wait, say about him wife, hang on.
Shani got the hospital, we weren't here. When Shani walked in, I was going to buy a soap down at the hospital. Shani walked in, I'm tell you time now really.
So what time you not say you reach at the hospital?
Reach our hospital maybe about say. You want to know that I tell you say I in the evening really that far.
What after
So
7?
the second visit.
No, man. Earlier that man. Maybe about say in the
This is the second visit.
About 1:30.
Yeah.
So maybe I will say anyway after them the hours there.
After 1:30 you reach hospital?
No man, we reach school hospital maybe about say 3 o'clock the hours. Yeah, maybe a little later.
It's just a time we're trying to work. Yes, and
So that was the second return. So Shani goes off. She goes to Spur Tree to freshen up. In the 3 o'clock region, he goes back to the hospital after he has done his hustle on the road, etc., etc. Because school over. Him claims that the school that him a deal with over, which is at 1:30. That is what I'm saying now. Him end up back at school, back at the hospital. Shanique walks in afterwards when he's going to go and buy some soup.
so Jaden school over 1 o'clock.
No.
What time?
Jaden school over 2:30.
At 2:30 Jaden school over.
So the school he's dealing with is separate, you know, wherever he's transporting the kids to and from. That's separate. He must say Jaden school. Because remember, I know primary school, high school. Jaden school, right? Finish at 2:30. So it's an hour later. But him now collect Jaden.
Right? And then you would have say you reach the school now after the hospital after
Oh,
3.
it's an hour and 30 minutes when there's no traffic. Okay, Patricia. So Patricia say a very important thing right there. So from Kingston to Mandeville, that wee hours of the morning is about an hour and 30 minutes because there is no traffic that time. I am from Manchester, I know. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. So that means a fairly quick entry then. It's not so long. It's like, yeah, drive go Ultra Rios, right? So it sounds like it's fairly quick. So it's not gonna take her that long for reach. Interesting. Shanique walking, she and Tammy in the hospital.
So was she at the hospital before you come, or was she go to the hospital after you come?
Look here, me tell you, me dead just a few minutes before she come in.
Just a few minutes before she come in. Just a few minutes before she come in. So this is after 3 o'clock. So just after 3. So just a few minutes before she came in. So she came back to the hospital with Tammy, the same Tammy that she left with first thing in the morning to go to Spurtree. She come in at that time.
So what people look at, people look at the time when she
Yes.
They find them on
at the
TV.
time when Shani come at the hospital. Because remember, what we were, we were to make sure said the people not judge wrong.
No, but they can't do anything they want.
No man, never said the people.
No, man, they do what they have.
No, when people do what they want,
Yeah,
sometimes
that's-
chaos can happen. You understand the public? So you have to make the thing work out.
No, but we can't remember every time. Remember, say me, I drive.
No, man, what we have said, no. All right, between me and you, before me go come down here, what me and you repeat, I say, yes, because me tell him, say that man, him could in or nothing.
Neither, no, we never know.
So, no, what me do, you know? You know what?
No, we know you know.
I come from about 2 or 3 days ago.
I know, because I announced me come plus the world, yes, and so, but
You know.
I think what we try,
You want to me?
the time space. Because remember, you know, the somebody who upon the stand here now is that you.
It's Shanique.
Look here,
Yes,
look here,
sir.
some. Shani could have no reason for her, Jaden. And the reason why I tell you, so Shani could have no reason for her, Jaden. Shani never to Jaden, I'm going to show you. Me can't talk.
Yes, man.
Shani is a little girl who kind of, you know, saying grow out of the hood. So them not really want, that him our what you call it?
Hey, Melissa.
The baby shower never keep a yard.
Yeah.
So, you know, so then kind of, a year she don't come here.
Yes.
She don't come here. So when they come, they go a Spurtree to go my wife work.
Yes.
I'm boss up there. So, me no know.
Now, the one good thing that I listened, the one interesting thing I listened to when I listened to Yard Boss's last video was that voice recording when he asked her whose house it was when she went to Spurtree. Whose house? Was it the principal's house? And she said no. He asked, well, whose house was it? She did not want to disclose that. No, the baby shower was held at that house. I have got a clip of that house, because that's where we found out who Tammy was, right? Is right as upon that platform here, that information, the boss. Because me go up on our YouTube channel and I screen record it and slow it down and listen to her talking to all of the people at the party. And then I screenshotted it. And then Yard Boss and everybody else start run with it. Like I them discover it. Fine. Right, yes, up on the platform, right, boss. But that house, it was a house with a big back side yard. Yes. Fairly big house. Big yard outside, and them had up all of the baby thing them, you know, new baby or whatever. And she was walking around and she was asking everybody, do you think it's a boy or do you think it's a girl? Do you think it's a boy? Do you think it's a girl? Her brother was there, right? The mother was there. The husband's family was there, as in the husband's mother was there. The husband was there. And of course, so too was Tammy. What was interesting was Mr. T was not there. Mr. T wasn't there at all. Right? No. If she has been going there for years and she does not come to the property, she does not come to the property. Every time she comes, she goes to Spurtree. And she's refusing to give the details of who this person is. But this person is the person who has employed her mother, who is the helper at that house. That mother look after the house. Whoever that person is at Tapanaris. That person have money. She's saying that the person has the house, but it's only there for whenever he visits. right? And that the mother is the caretaker. Yadva said something that made a lot of sense. I agree with it. It very much sounds as though Shanique was in a relationship with whoever it is that owned the house. Now, she is claiming it's not the principal. That's right, Millicent. She's claiming it's not the principal, that the mother is working for somebody else. But the way Shanique lie, the way this girl lie, I would not be surprised if it's the same way the principal owned the house there. People are saying that the principal gave her don't own no house in a spur tree. You think you can identify every man's assets when he decides not to disclose it? You don't know. People might think them know, but them don't know. You understand? So anyway, if she has been going there for years and she does not come to the house, and the baby is only 2 years old, that means she's been going there from before the baby born. She's been going there from when she wasn't pregnant. And the mother works for this person. You know, say you have some woman we work in a people's house and them carry them little girl picnic come at the workplace. And whoever own the house start look sideways upon the little girl picnic them will belong to the helper. I say, she a grow nice, And she don't carry clothes. You were getting to my points. Which means she sleep there. She have clothes there. This is an extra house that's not regularly populated. An excellent venue for any side action to take place. Why would she hide it? She did not have to give a name. She could have said, oh, that's my so-and-so's house, you know, my friend's house, somebody I know from high school house, something like that. Or if it's a family home, she could have said, oh, that is the house that actually belongs to a married couple and my mother works for them. And whenever they're not in the island, I'm able to use the house because we have a really good relationship. But you not carry clothes. That means that you have clothes in there. It's a bit strange, isn't it? So your mother was a living or what, and then you just happen to have clothes in the house. So how you suffer meal and other people them house as an extra person. That sound like a bit of a menage a trois situation, meaning that you, your husband, and whoever it is that own this house in some entanglement. That is why there are question marks around who Zaire's parents are, and possibly why it is that she was comfortable leaving Zaire in Jamaica, because Zaire is where his father is. Is that what we're doing? Make we call and listen.
Yeah, me understand what you say. But I mean, carry the bunch of key go be Shanique in her hand right down
No, me know in the morning.
Yeah, down well, I know. We don't
Let's jump.
9 o'clock down after certain hours.
But my wife and them are still in the hospital with she.
With Shanique?
Yes.
All right. So, and then after your wife left the hospital with Shanique now?
No, man, when Shanique got the hospital, we were there. When Shanique walked in, I was going to buy a soup down at the hospital. So
that is a 3 o'clock region.
Shanique walked in. I have to tell you the time now, really.
So, what time you not say you reach at the hospital?
Reach at the hospital, maybe about, say, until no like I tell you, say, in the evening, really that part.
What after 7?
No, man, no, man. Earlier that, man. Maybe about, say, in the about school on Friday, about 1:30.
Yeah.
So maybe about, say, Anyway, after them, the hours there.
Listen.
After 1:30, they reach hospital.
No, man, they reach school, hospital, maybe about, say, 3 o'clock, yeah, maybe a little later.
That's just a time.
So he said 3 o'clock, maybe later. So we're talking about between 3, 4, 4:30, probably the latest. If Mr. T arrived at that time, it makes sense for him to be buying soup, doesn't he? It sounds sensible that he might buy soup. Probably just want something box little gas. Right? Okay. She walks in at that point with Tammy. Now, my question is, when does she leave again? Because he sees her, but then he transports everybody back. Because they then leave from the hospital with the wife, with Damar, and they're supposed to be going to get mothers. No, so they have left Tammy, who is the other driver, by the way, left Tammy and Shanique at the hospital, and them gone back at the yard. Them never leave immediately. Are you hearing? They never leave immediately. Them go about them business. Ima says after 3. Now listen to how the timeline gives the impression as though there is no possible way. Because if it is that Shanique and this girl left and went to go to Spur Tree during the day, and he's claiming that he returned to the hospital after 3 and she arrived immediately after, and then they stayed for a while, because they would have had to have stayed for a while in order to then leave to go to Mother's. Think about it. It wasn't an immediate exchange. Them never leave straight away. Them would have to hang about for a bit. You understand? Did Shanique stay with them for the full period of time? Did Damar leave, come back? Was there any to and fro between anybody? Did Shanique leave at the same time and go somewhere else? Maybe to get more KFC, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Because the way they're describing it, by the time they travel back, Jaden would have been gone. And Shanique is supposed to still be at the hospital. Listening now.
That's so Jaden school over 1 o'clock.
No.
What time?
Jaden school over 2:30.
At 2:30, Jaden school over, right? And then you would have to you reach the school now after the hospital after 3.
Yes.
Yes, and then after you reach the hospital now, then Shanique come in.
Shanique come right because we don't have Shanique walk in, she attack.
She walk in at the school, at the hospital.
But the hospital has no camera, and we don't know.
So was she at the hospital before you come, or was she come at the hospital after you come?
Look there, me tell her, me there just a few minutes before she come.
All right, so before she come in. So when people look at the time when she
Yes.
from school,
Yes.
and the time when Shanique come at the hospital, come remember, what we were, we were to make sure said the people not judge wrong.
No, but they can't do anything they want to.
No man, never said the people.
No, man, they do what they have to do.
No, when people do what they want to do, sometimes chaos can happen. Yes, in the public. So you have to make the thing work out.
No, but we can't remember every time. Remember, say me, I drive.
No, man, what we are saying.
Listen carefully. If Shanique arrived at the hospital at 9 o'clock in the morning, or between 9 and 9:30 in the morning, or at least in the wee hours of the morning. Yes, if Shanique arrived in the wee hours of the morning, Shanique would not be going straight to get KFC at that time. Listen now. That baby is not going to have KFC for breakfast, is he? No. Shanique would have to get KFC later on that day. At 9:30 in the morning, when she was collecting keys from Mr. T in front of the Three Angels pharmacy, where he put the keys in her hand so she could go to Spur Tree at the man where we suspect is our spooky. At the man house, me a thinking of people. She go She go for go change and freshen up with this Tammy person. This is the 9:30 period in the morning. Jaden's still at school. Jaden doesn't leave school until 2:30. Mr. T is claiming he arrived there at 3, between 3 or a bit later. I think Mr. T is giving himself too much time. I don't think Mr. T is set because he said me go back in the evening. 3 o'clock and so on evening, afternoon that. So anyway, I say him go back in the evening. Him go back in the evening. But then I say at 3 o'clock, me not too sure. That was Mr. T trying to rehearse the timings given to him by her. Because you're not going to get KFC in the morning. You're going to get KFC in the evening or in the afternoon. At them time they should ring and say, what my baby want, him hungry. Them time that him offer the pain meds a little bit. Him a lively up a little bit after him put on him cast. I'm hungry. I want KFC. Okay, baby. So in the evening, she goes off and she gets KFC. And then she comes in with it. What Mr. T is not talking about is the fact that it is at this point when she comes in, she's coming in with the KFC, you know. It's at this point she are coming with the KFC, you know. Right? If it's between 3, 4 o'clock-ish, them time there. Jaden was spotted in Megamart after 4, not true? Not true. Him claim said Shanique come in minutes afterwards. It not add up. Because if Shanique come in minutes afterwards, and that story that he's giving is true, because at that point him get foggy. Before that, him was very specific. Him a call upon things where him see. Him a talk about things where happen around. Him a talk about all of that. But when it get to that point, when Shanique returns, him start get confused. Him not sure. Him not ready. Him can't pull on any memory to say this was happening at the same time. That is how Mr. T's mind works. Anytime he remembers something, he's pulling on something else that has taken place. And say, oh yeah, that did not go on. So about that time there. All of a sudden, Mr. T turn. I'm not sure. Between the 3, it gone from in the evening to the 3, to the 4, to the them time there, probably little later. You understand? Him know him finish work. Yes. Him know say Jaden finish 2:30. Him a try time it so that when she did it, Jaden still around and being seen by people. But it's supposed to be a relief. Because remember, said the aunt, the aunt, she did say, she want go yard because she want pee. Remember, you know, she want go pee, she want leave. Remember, you know, remember good, you know. So it's not supposed to be a situation where them sit on there and them everybody eat chicken in the hospital. It's supposed to be a case of, mommy, see some case here, you can carry that home. Me there now, you know can go on. And she go back, because she already do the meet and greet from in the morning when she sees Shanique. If this was the first time that Shanique was walking into the hospital, like she claims, it would have been a big kind of greeting and celebration and, oh God, my daughter, Lord, Mr. Sorry, you come and you see, none of that kind of exchange can be recounted because that never happened, because that happened from in the morning. So when him come and him get soup, and then him buck up on Shanique and Tammy, when them just come in, them come in from the KFC, and it was no 3, 4 o'clock or later than that. Them got spur tree, and then they had time to go to KFC, and they bring in KFC for the little boy's dinner. Not for his lunch. For him dinner. For his dinner. You understand? The treatment that little boy would have been under, the painkillers that little boy would have been under. Because when you break your femur, it's no easy something. That little baby was not going to be thinking about no damn KFC. He would have tried to survive. The pain, waiting for the pain meds to kick in. He would have been groggy, sleeping for the majority of the time. When he wake up, he's supposed to be miserable. Any nurses on the line? Any nurses in the chat that can confirm what I am saying? Come on, medical people, any nurses on the chat? A 2-year-old has a broken femur. Isn't that supposed to be a brace on the body, a splint, a cast? Isn't that supposed to last up to 6 to 8 weeks? Isn't the pain excruciating, and isn't that child going to be on a heavy pain meds? And won't those pain meds make that child groggy? Won't those pain meds affect that child's cognition? Them not gonna be as alert. Them are gonna be miserable and surly. Are they gonna be talking about they want KFC to eat when them under medication? Come on, where are the nurses in the chat? I want to hear what we have to say. But think about it. This is from Thursday night, so by Friday evening, little bit will be wearing off. By Friday evening. Little bit will be wearing off, and he will start to feel hungry because it's been a long time since him proper eat. Him want him KFC. She coming in the evening. And when she come in the evening, she done do the do. She done do the do. What Mr. T did is he tried to shift the time up to cover Shanique's back. And that's why I said, even though he's telling all the truth in the world, he isn't completely innocent because he's still covering for his children. He move it up. And he never even know how to move it up. He must say between 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I don't know, you know, the time that all of a sudden, that time them turn fool with. The rest of them, he was a lot more deliberate. Yeah, man, at that time, yeah, man, at this me do, at that me do. But that time, that if him no say, him say, you know, say me see her about 5:30ish. If him did ever say that, it opens up a window between the end of school for Jayden being seen at Mengamad's, and the possibility of her seeing him. He closed the gap, but he didn't know how to close the gap. The information became vague. His body language became uncomfortable. He went from a body language of deliberation. I wish I could show you because it's not quite showing. It's not quite showing on the screen how I want it to show because it's in my app, right? Hold on, see if I can make it big. It's in my app.
And then you would have said you reach the school now after the hospital after 3.
Yes.
You understand? And then after you reach the hospital now, then Shani come in.
Shani come right.
Yes, and so Jaden school over 1 o'clock.
No.
What time?
Jaden school over 2:30.
Jaden school over, right? And then you would have said you reach the school now after the hospital after 3.
Yes.
Yes, and then after you reach the hospital, then Shani come in.
Let me take off the background. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna just turn off the green screen. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, that should give us more flexibility. No, hold on.
Right.
That way you can all see his body language. All right.
Shani walk in, she attack.
She walk in at the school, in the hospital.
But hospital has the money.
Look at his body language here.
So was she at the hospital before you come, or was she come at the hospital after you come.
Look here, me tell you, me there just a few minutes before you come.
All right, so push come in. So what people look at, people look at the time when Jaden
Yes,
from school
yes.
and the time when Shani come to the hospital. Because remember, what we want, we want to make sure said the people not judge wrong.
No, but they can't do anything they want.
No man, never say the people.
No, man, they do what they have to do.
No, when people do what they want to do, sometimes chaos can happen. Yeah, say the family. So you have to make the thing work out.
No, but we can't remember every time. Remember, say me I drive.
No, man, what we are saying, no. All right, between me and you, the four neighbor come down here. What me and you repeat them, I say, yes, and because me tell them, say that man, him could in or nothing.
No, we don't know.
So, no, what do you know? You don't want a whole heap of case.
And I know say I come from about 2 or 3 days ago.
I know, because I announced me come across the world, yes, and so, but
You know.
the thing what we are trying to the time space. Because remember, you know, there's somebody who upon the stand here now that you is Shani mainly.
Look here,
Yes,
let me tell
sir.
you something. Shani could have no reason to hurt Jaden. And the reason why I tell you, Shani could have no reason to hurt Jaden.
Look at his body
Shani
language.
never see Jaden, I'm going to show you. Me can't talk.
Yes, man.
Shani is a little girl who kind of, you know, saying growth of the hood.
So you see right here, so I
I
wonder if you know the difference between open body language and closed body language. When he was questioning him about, you know, the timing when Shanique returned to the hospital that afternoon and when it is the exact timing that his body language became closed. His hands went in his pockets and his shoulders hunched over. When he starts to recount about her childhood and the things that he's, you know, the fact that she don't grow up in the era, blah, 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 his body language becomes open. His hands start flailing about and he's moving like this, okay? She left the hospital after that and went back with her brother Romain. Hey, hold on there. Weird.
Baby, she will never keep her yard.
Yeah.
So, you know, so then kind of, a year she not coming.
That's open body
When
language.
they come, they go a spur cheek upon my wife work.
Yes.
I'm boss up there. So, me no know if any, you understand?
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that she didn't saw Jaden Friday, none at all. I tell you, me not ask you. Me not tell you, me not actually tell you.
What did he mean by that? Me no know if she know if any little. What did he mean by that? He was about to say something, you know. Me no know if no little, and then he cut himself off. What did Mr. T mean by that? And this is the thing is he said that and then flipping L.A. Lewis drop it. That was something you should have jumped on. You don't know if no little what. And pull it up, you know. I'm say it, you know.
Because she left him with the head. You know, I tell you.
So while Jaden gone up on the road,
Yo.
yeah, where was she at that time?
When, no, we would know where Jaden go because they tell we the hospital.
No, man. While Jaden was school, yes,
Shanique and her friend named Tommy, we live in our area, so. Was purchased.
Open body language.
Go fresh because, you know, carry no close from firing.
Open body
So he
language.
just go spurt you up, the tell about, for me wife boss.
yeah, but what about what time?
You know, I really remember time like that, no matter the early morning. The early morning part.
No, what we're talking about,
Right,
the
that's
time
so
when
open.
Jaden supposed to that school, yes, until him got the local fast food place. Yes, and
Start
at that
scratching
time,
shoulder.
you know, were on the road.
Yes.
Hustling. Yes, and so that's a now. But where were Shanique at the time?
Shanique and Tommy, that's
Closed body language.
Yeah, but the thing now, no. Oh,
Handful.
Yeah, me understand what you say. But me carry the bunch of tea go give Shanique in her hand right down.
No, but no.
Open body language, that's all.
We don't have 3 inches, I must say.
That's what time?
Watch him now.
Let me tell you, say,
Early in the
about 9 cigars.
So down, 9 o'clock down after certain hours.
But my wife and them are still
Open body language.
Shanique.
Yes.
All right. So, and then after your wife left the hospital with Shani,
No man, when Shani got the hospital, we were there. When Shani walked in, I was going to buy a soup down at the hospital. So
that's what time Shani walked in.
Shani walked in. I'm the tell the time now. Really.
Close body language, this or no?
You say you reach the hospital.
Reach our hospital, maybe about say.
That white face.
I don't want to know like when you tell us, say, in the evening, really that far.
What after 7?
No man, no man. Earlier that man. Maybe about say in the maybe about cause school on Friday is over 1:30.
Yeah.
So maybe about say anyway after them the hours there.
After 1:30, they reach hospital.
No man, they reach school hospital maybe about say.
Poor Mr. T get confused, yes, so.
We are trying to work.
Close body language.
School over 1 o'clock.
No.
What time?
Jaden school over 2:30.
That is specific.
Right? And then you would have say you reach the school now after the hospital after 3.
Yes.
Yes, and then after you reach the hospital now, then Shani come in.
Shani come right.
On a realize say L.A. Lewis give him the time. He never give the time, you know. L.A. Lewis give him the time. You realize say L.A. Lewis put the time in him head. All Mr. Tia says after them time there. In confused and he can't remember at which time Shanique, which time Jane was last seen. You understand? So when L.A. Lewis give him a time now, he accept it.
Shani walk in, she attacks.
She walk in at the school, in the hospital.
But the hospital has the same money, I'm not
What time? So was she at the hospital before you come, or was she come at the hospital after you come?
Look here, me tell you, me there just a few minutes.
All right, so before she come in. So when people look at the time when she
Yes,
from school,
yes.
and the time when Shani come at the hospital, because remember, what we were, we were to make sure said the people not judge wrong.
No, but they can't do anything they want.
Open body language again.
Let them do what they have to do.
No, when people do what they want to do, sometimes chaos can happen. You understand the family? So you have to make the thing work out.
No, but we can't remember every time. Remember, say me, I drive.
No, man.
And that's the truth.
All right, between me and you, before me go come down here, what me and you repeat and I say, yes, and because me tell him say that man, him couldn't know nothing.
Neither, no, we don't know.
So, no, what me do you know?
And he really believes that.
And those people say I come from about 2 or 3 days ago.
I know, because I announced him come plus the world, yes, and so, but
Me know.
and the thing what we try,
You answer me?
the time space. Because remember, you know, the somebody who up on the stand here now that you is Shani mainly.
Look here,
Yes,
let me
sir.
tell you something. Shani no reason for her, Jaden. And the reason why I tell you, Shani good, no reason for her, Jaden. Shani never see Jaden, I'm going to show you. Me can't talk.
Yes, man.
Shani is a little girl who kind of, you know, saying grow out of the hood. So them not really want, that him are what you call it? The baby shower never keep a yard.
Yeah.
So, you know, so then kind of, a year she don't come here. She don't come here. So when they come, they go a spur tree for my wife work.
Huh.
I'm boss up there. So, me don't know if any, you understand?
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that she didn't saw Jaden Friday, none at all. I tell you, me not ask you. Me not tell you, me not ask you, I tell you. Because how Shani left and go to bed and come back fast. He can
Hey,
Yeah.
how fast he come back.
Yeah.
does that make sense to you? What did he say? He said he gave Shanique the keys 9:30 in the morning. That during the time that Jaden was at school, Shanique was at Spur Tree. He came back in the evening or after 3, between 3 and 4. So how was that quick? What's the distance between Spur Tree and the hospital? Somebody said that they're here from Mandeville. What's the distance between Spur Tree and the Mandeville Hospital? Not so far. If you're supposed to be able to take the Perth Road up to Spur Tree, you're not supposed to take it that long. So if that is the case then, and it's 9:30 in the morning, he gave her the key. Him shouldn't be surprised that she come in at that time. Something's not right with that part of the story. Why is he surprised that she's just? Why is he surprised that she's come back so quickly? That would imply that she was there after in the morning and that she left again and then she came back, that multiple trips were being made. It's not a one-way trip. I really wish the police had interrogated the family and principal more within the 24 hours of Jaden being missing. This is just too sad. It is. She left the hospital after that and went back with her brother, Romain.
Me drive, me run this. Me run this. Time span, how we are tell lie and we not looking at people's face. Yes. Principal Gabriel.
Yeah. So that was the key part of the interview that I wanted to listen to. And it's clear to me that whenever he's speaking about Shanique, whenever he goes to talk about Shanique and Tammy, his body language becomes like this. Anytime he's talking about all the details around himself, around the family, things that he believes in and he has conviction about, his hands are all over the place. Him can't stay still. The moment it comes to Shanique and Tammy, him start wiping face, scratching body, he handing going in pocket, he start round up him shoulder. He looks very uncomfortable. 15 minutes. Okay. So then, if she's coming in after at that time, he shouldn't be surprised that she's coming in so quickly, that she has returned so quickly. You understand? He shouldn't be surprised about that. So, this is what I'm going to say. It's clear to me that Mr. T was covering up for Shanique. It's clear to me that Mr. T was also a part of the cover-up where Jaden Smith is concerned. And as much as he's innocent in that he may not have anything to do with it necessarily, he's guilty by proxy for the simple reason that he's trying to paint a picture as though she returned so quickly when she went out from Spurtree, but he forgot that he said it was 9:30 in the morning that he gave her the keys and that while Jaden was in school, actually in school, she was in Spurtree with Tammy. He's trying to make it look as though he only just gave her the keys and then she went and then she came back. And that was not the case. Several hours had passed in between. And if it's 15 minutes, as Patricia Bailey says, if it's 15 minutes to go from the hospital to Spurtree, then it's not a quick turnaround that she has come at that time. He's not sure about the time. The time that was volunteered was not volunteered by Mr. T. It was put in his mouth by L.A. Lewis. He accepted it because it fit and he did not want to make a mistake. His lies were catching up at that point. And Mr. T no used to lie. Him don't know how to tell lie. So when it was time to lie, him stuck. Mr. T was stuck and L.A. Lewis gave him an out. Gave him an instant out by giving him the 3 o'clock, which he jumped on. Yeah. Because he knows that it's 2:30. Jane's school finish. You understand? And it's 1:30, his school finish. Now, if he's still doing transport when it comes to Bethabara, and he's also doing security there, how long does it take to get from Bethabara to the hospital? How long does it take? That's an important question. Right? Surely he would have done some stops along the way. Would have gone places along the way. You know what I'm saying? Probably stand up at the taxi stand and chat with him brethren, them a ray. Him never come straight there. Probably did some dropping offs of kids, you know, because in the transport. So it would not have been straight there. So even though school finished, he would have taken some picnic transport, some picnic drop them here, so drop them this and so on and so forth, because he does transport. And then he would have head to the hospital when he done work. So him coming in after 3. Tammy and Shanique never come in straight after. And this is where it starts to fall apart. Because if he's saying, I'm surprised how quickly she come back from Spurtree. No, you gave her the key at 9:30 in the morning, Mr. T. 9:30 in the morning. You're telling us that this is after 3 in the evening. When really and truly it's later than that, because you never even remember the time. You actually said it was in the evening. It may have been before 7. It may have been even before 6, but it definitely wasn't 3. Whenever you saw Shanique next, it was about the 5 o'clock region. Yeah. And by that time, them don't do what them need to do. And put Jaden where them need to put Jaden. He just now realized that the family are in big trouble. He's worried now. I think he knows what happened and covering up for them. He is. And probably out of fear, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's a matter of he's just covering up for the sake of covering up. I think he's afraid. You see that Spain town, brother there? I think he's afraid. Just like how Yard Boss is afraid for put Remain name in the clip on YouTube. Because that's Spain town, man. I think he's afraid. And that is genuinely what I believe. That brother needs to be interrogated. I've said so many times that, listen, who was that driver? It became clear that it was Romain that was the driver. At first, I was mixing up Romain with Rashane, which is the brother of Jaden. But this Romain is her brother. That's the one from Spanish Town. Right? And that child needs to be investigated. Now, a quick discussion on the Jamaica college situation. That is yet another head teacher that is busy covering up certain things happening in their school. Because remember, there was a leaked voice note that was on Chat and Laughs live of a little girl speaking about the fact that she saw Jaden with a swollen eye. I do not know if that has been confirmed as true or whatever. Chat and Laugh is an interesting character, but she doesn't mix, right? She's worse than me. I thought I was bad and I didn't mix, but she definitely didn't mix. I think the one time she mixed with Yard Boss, she get traumatized because Yard Boss carry her over by Andre Stevens live and turn her in a baffle, right? So from that, she just decides to listen, she not deal with nobody and she just stick to herself, and that may pick up about her, right? But on her platform, there was a whole recording of a little girl who was talking about the fact that she saw Jaden at school and Jaden eyes swell up, and it was pretty bad, right? Now, here we have situations of bullying taking place at the Jamaica College, right? Jamaica College is one of the top high schools in Jamaica. We had a situation where a mother stepped forward and said that her son was going through extreme bullying at the school. And what did the principal do? The principal comes out and claims that it was not a case of bullying. It was a case of this boy retaliating against this boy and things getting a bit out of hand. That none of the parties were innocent. That seems to be their line that they keep to be towing, right? So we have yet another situation. Now that little boy, by the way, that was being bullied at the Jamaica College was being bullied because of the way he spoke. He spoke with an accent. Clearly the child is not from the island. I don't know where it's from, if it's America or if it's another island altogether. So they were bullying him because of that. Now we have another situation of a young man in the bathroom in a toilet and a peer slap him a colic, peer boof him a colic. The argument that Jamaica College is coming out with now is that that young man that was getting them slaps was accused of actually stealing. And he stole things from the boys who did the slapping. And that was the reason behind it. Here I hear Jamaica College principal justifying bullying that's taking place on that premises. The mother of the previous son who was told that, listen, there was no bullying. It was just, your son was the one who did the slapping and ray, and the other boy was defending himself and all of that stuff. Basically dismissing the mother's claim. The mother's come forward to say, listen, this has justified and made it firm in my head that what my son told me actually takes place. it's clear to me that there's a lot of slackness happening in our schools. I just recently read that there was another brutal attack taking place. I think I saw it on the X. Hold on a minute. A schoolgirl being ambushed. I believe it was on the Jamaica Observer. Hold on one second. I'm going to try and find it. Some schoolgirl being ambushed. Hold on. By a bunch of other kids. Let me look it up. That was just a couple of hours ago. Right. So here it is. No, that's Jamaica College. Here it is. Schoolgirl attacked during commute home, transport minister. So this is on the road. No, this is not in the school. This is on the road. A schoolgirl was ambushed and beaten by students from Marcus Garvey Technical High School on Wednesday, prompting outrage after video of the attack surfaced online. The incident first brought to public attention through a post on the X by the user King Mixup. Mighty God, King Mixup, you're King Mixup, look what you hookers. Jesus. Anyway, described how the victim, who was allegedly not involved in the initial dispute, was targeted while traveling. Listen. According to the user, and as seen in the video, multiple students surrounded her and were seen hitting her repeatedly. Based on the recount given by the user, the bus driver reportedly did not intervene. Oh, the bus driver intervened, no. The user shared that the victim reportedly returned home visibly injured, suffering a swollen face to protect the student's identity. The incident was concerned about student safety and the government support transport system introduced under Prime Minister Andrew Holness's administration, which was intended to provide a secure means of travel for students. In the post by King Mixup, it was revealed that family members have confirmed that the student is seeking medical attention and that a formal report is being filed. They stressed that the attack should not be dismissed as school drama, but recognized as a serious case of group assault and battery. Listen to this, what is happening in our country. In response, Jamaica's Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport issued a statement confirming that the incident occurred in Ocho Rios at approximately 3:45 p.m. The minister noted that the driver alerted the police, who subsequently intercepted the bus. Authorities are now reviewing statements and footage, including CCTV recordings, as part of an ongoing investigation, with materials to be shared with the relevant schools. Picnic, a gang picnic on bus. A gang picnic on bus. And that's between Marcus Garvey Technical High School. That girl was targeted. I have not seen the video, people. I have not seen the video. And I'm glad I haven't seen it, because sometimes my heart can't take them thing there. There is a growing pattern of violence that's happening within our schools amongst our young people. A growing pattern of bullying that's taking place, and it's becoming the norm. I see children laughing while other children are being brutally beaten. In our days, yes, fighting did happen, right? But most of our fighting never draw a weapon, like when we see a go on in our schools, right? When I hear of children getting stabbed up, look at that little boy, that 13-year-old that was taken out over a long-term feud. What is happening with our children? Why they feel like the first resort is an act of violence for draw blood, right? And here we have this Jamaica College principal pretending as though the situation that is happening in his school is not happening, turning a blind eye to it. You know why? Because they have no behavior management system in place. They have no proper system of consequences. They have no way of handling the children's behavior. And many times they're afraid. Me nah lie. Many times when them see these big old kids in a school and all them go and they're afraid of them, because me see video of teachers that get handled by kids. And me never think say me would have live to see that. Me always used to see them think they are going a big foreign. Me never think me would have live to see that happening in Jamaica. Where teachers are get licked down by students like it is nothing. The respect that we had when we were growing up for teachers, we afraid. Because even if when we in a primary school, if teacher beat, we will go home and get beaten too. Pantapite. The devil is attacking our young people left, right, and center. Yes, it's peer denial. It's peer denial. You understand? There has been an arrest, but there has been no charges. Nobody no want charge. All of a sudden, everybody gone quiet. Parents back off. Oh God, it's children. And them a do them thing. And feel we picnic guilty too. And that they picnic they're guilty too. Everybody back off and gone. Everybody back off and gone. I know we have children getting ganged. When I tell you that we need to pray over our kids. We need to pray over our kids in the island of Jamaica. We need to pray over our kids, Jamaica. We need to pray over them. Because I'm telling you, the devil is loose amongst them. And that is why I say, as much as Demar is also a child, we cannot relinquish the fact that he could very much be a part of this. Because child-on-child violence is now a gruesome reality. Children won't hesitate to take a 3 point. They won't hesitate to take a 3 points. They have become brutal and vile. So when I tell you that the police must leave no stone unturned, and that includes Demar, this is what I am talking about. I am telling HDK, the children here are foreign have way more respect than our Caribbean children. I see it in my own family. I'm telling you, it's becoming scary. I mean, I have seen cases, especially in America, of American kids acting crazy, right? But even in England here, I've never seen some of the things that I'm seeing. Yes, you have the children fighting out in the streets, but teachers are genuinely scared back home to confront some of these kids because the kids are bringing in weapons. I put a post on my Facebook and I said, listen, we need metal detectors. We need security. We need cameras in every corridor. We need a barrier system at the entrance of our toilets that let in students based on ID and number, so you don't have a certain number of kids going in at a time. And certain kids have to come out in order for others to go in. And if certain kids in there too long, an alarm go off. Sitting need for happen. We need to get techno savvy. You understand? Use the technology that is available to us. You want to build a smart city, Andrew Holness. You need to build smart schools that monitor our children's behavior far more than it does. We need cameras everywhere. You need to have security patrolling schools during breaks and not just leaving our children to destroy each other. Imagine you get up as a parent and you send your picnic to school in a place where you think that your picnic safe and your picnic come back in a body bag. Just imagine it. Sounds like prison, not school. They're behaving like criminals, so I'm sorry. It needs to escalate at this point. Our kids are not behaving like kids. All of that music and everything that they're exposed to down there, all of the holy, violence what in the dance hall, what them love, yeah, all of the slackness what them love listen to, everything that they're absorbing on social media and on the internet, the fight culture that has become kind of like ingrained mentally and has totally dumbed down your senses so that you are desensitized and care zero if you see something vile on the internet. All of those things feed into their mindset right now. So yeah, we have to go up the thing. Like a prison and not a school, yes. Until them get the point. But something has to change. And it only needs to happen in schools that are high risk. Do you understand? Until a nice flowery school becomes one that is high risk, and then it has to become an extreme example. But something needs to change. We can't keep losing our children this way. Now, somebody did raise a good point under my post. They said, well, HTK, these things are happening outside of school, you know. And it's the truth. It's not just on the school campus. It's happening outside of school. Look at the lady that lost her life at the church, right? She wasn't in the church, but she was on the church grounds. Such a beautiful woman that was selling her goods on the church ground. A man just come in there and murk her. And she was in the process of actually burying her husband. Or her baby father, I don't know, but our man. She'd have bury. The father of our children, she was burying. It makes you wonder if they're not connected. How did that man die? Eh? How did that man die? This beautiful woman here. See her there? Look how she pretty. Look on her pretty face. Man come in our church, come take her out. We are now in a society where there are no boundaries. And people do anything. So when people are trying to say to me, say, oh, no, you know, I don't think she looked fairly decent. And she, you know, no, I don't, listen, I don't put nothing past none of them where Jaden is concerned. Jaden was an outside child. Statistically, they are higher likely to get abused than a child that is biologically theirs. He's an outside child. He's in a situation where he's isolated, meaning that his parents are no good. No disrespect to the mother, but she wasn't there. I'm sorry, you were a neglectful mom. Yeah, you may have said you handed over your child, but your essence, your nurturing, your presence, your guidance was missing. So to me, you on the outside. You have a waste of a father who was a drunk. Also on the outside. That leaves him extremely vulnerable. And a quick and easy target for bullying, for child abuse that's taking place in the home, for all kinds of things to happen to him. Exploitation, gang recruitment, trafficking, all of those things Jaden becomes a target for, based on the fact that he was in a situation where he was extremely vulnerable and he was an outside child and he was not with his parents who were supposed to love, care, protect, and nurture him. So I put nothing past any of these people when I see the state, the culture, the bully culture that exists in our country, as though it is no big deal. No. I put nothing past any of the family members of Jaden. Nothing past it at all. Have you seen how Korra is being stalked by this man that she called her husband? Wanna see that? Wanna see how Korra being treated? The latest thing that I've seen is Korra's little girl telling the father that the mother slap her all the time. And Korra having to correct that narrative with her child. Asking her child, have I ever slapped in the child? Said, no. Why did you say it? Because I was scared. Sometimes the most pristine looking households are filled with corruption. The mere fact that Shanique does not return to her home tells you something is amiss. Tells you that something not right. You understand? She's hiding who owns this house in Spur Tree. Many people suspect it is still the principal. We have heard rumors about the fact that Shanique may have been in a relationship allegedly with the principal and that the baby belonged to the principal. Who knows? Who knows? But it's odd how comfortable and familiar she is with whoever it is that she's going to stay with. That she has clothes there and she don't even have to travel with none. Spending the night there. Can just go there, go bathe and change and refresh herself. Mr. T fumbling about his 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock return. Stammering about it, not sure about it when he was so adamant about everything else, expressive hands everywhere. And I tell you that God is not sleeping. And it's only a matter of time before it becomes evident where the lies really are. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has let down Jaden Smith's case. They have not looked in all the places and the spaces and checked all the cameras. They're going to put a blame on limited resources. But really, it's lack of priority because Jaden has no on-the-ground advocacy. That's why I said I've heard Tiger talking about a private detective. To me, that's neither here nor there. What I would like to see is advocacy, genuine advocacy on the ground, advocacy for Jaden's mother or Jaden's relative, because it doesn't have to just be the mother, pushing to find out where we're at. Why is it stalled, that investigation? Where are we at? What is the stumbling block? What is the brick wall? What is stopping an arrest from being made? What stones were left unturned? That's where we really, really need the help. I have asked multiple times somebody from Jamaica to reach out to me to ask for a petition to look into the Jane Smith case again so that we can get the signatures, because the first one was a dud. It never worked because they never advertised it properly. And they started the advertising late. And the person them used to don't even have no power on platforms on social media. They have no clout, no pull whatsoever. So nobody knew about it until by the time we knew about it, it had bloody expired. If you are interested in reopening that petition and you are able to do it, because I tried doing it from here, but because I have a UK IP address, it's not accepting it. I need somebody local who can open it, and I will help you to word it. Just send me an email and tell me you will do it. Send it to headteacher with an A, k@gmail.com. All right. You have to be a Jamaican citizen with a Jamaican address. All right. And if you send me an email, then I can basically send you screenshots and walk you through the process. And then you'll have to submit it on behalf of basically diaspora, because the first one was opened. The thing is that what's unfortunate is that it was passed as a legitimate petition, and it had one signature or some stupid thing like that. And that would have been the one thing what would have worked. It was intentional. I think so, live and let live, because the government didn't want it out there. You would have thought that something like that would have definitely been spread across the news. It was in the paper, and by the time it was in the paper, it was a few days before it expired. I think the 23rd of February, something like that, it expired on the 28th. Made no sense at all. There's no way we could have gotten that number of petitions, signatures in that short space of time. They did not care to put that out there so that everybody will be aware of it. You understand? But anyway, in today's world, police allow someone to type their itinerary instead of taking a picture of the itinerary. I've never heard such bull crap in my life. I've never heard such bull crap in my life, Shernette. Never in my life. That is what she's claiming. Never in my life have I ever heard such nonsense. Ex-husband, not husband. Well, yes, Sims, ex-husband, right? He's still a stalker. He's still crazy. Right? He's still crazy. We're going to do a whole show on it, probably tomorrow, I don't know, or Sunday. But he did an interview recently. That guy, he got chewed up. They really let him have it and told him that he's sick, because he really and truly is sick. He needs to leave that girl alone, that Korra's husband. He needs to leave her alone. I know Korra is a bit, and she be all over the place, and she be, you know, she love her little nakedness and her whiny, but that man's a stalker. He's ill. By the time you look, we have another Ashley Janae situation, because he will not let her go. They're crazy people in the world. Anyway, we're off track. Big up for the nice clean stuff. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, click that bell. So every time I go live or drop a video, you are notified. Thank you so much for attending class tonight. Do leave a purple heart for Jaden as you exit the room and click the like button. I'm telling us that every time when I come and sitting in a class, you know, at one point we have over 200 and not even 100 likes. And then nice, you know. The least I could do is at least thump up the like button before I leave. God no. But anyway, it's all good. I am gonna come out here and I'm still gonna advocate for justice for Jaden. All right. Big up your nice clean self. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out. Bye.